Hi, everybody. I thought I would make us a short video on when you don't and when you do use apostrophes. By the time we got to that part of our workshop, most people are absolutely knackered. So I thought it'd be helpful to have a short video. Now, if you're super confident in how you use apostrophes, do skip forward to the end where there is a little test for you. And if you get some of those wrong, you can go back and review what it is that you actually did. Okay, so let's kick off with when you don't use an apostrophe. Now, you don't use an apostrophe simply to show a plural. So one pen, many pens, doesn't take an apostrophe. So one apostrophe, two apostrophes. You don't stick a little extra grammatical sign in there to show you've got several of them. One house, many houses, lots of houses. A kid, one kid, a group of kids. So just because you've got several of them, you don't need an apostrophe. That's the acid test. And here you go. Am I talking about several things down here? If yes, no apostrophe. So what you do instead is you use an apostrophe in two instances. The first one is to show shortening, and the second one is to show possession. So let's deal with the easy one first. How you shorten. Now, I like to think if you were speaking to the Queen, you would say to her, "Dear Mum, I will not be coming." So if you're speaking your most proper English, that's maybe how you would say it. But if you were speaking to me, Jess, you just say, "Hey, Jess, I'm not going to be coming," or "I won't be coming." So that contraction shows that you need to stick in an apostrophe. So here are some more examples. He isn't, I'd love, they'll, that's. So you're just shortening. Instead of saying he is, I would, they will, that is, you shorten what you say. And when you shorten, you stick in an apostrophe. So the acid test, in your most proper English, are you really using two words? If so, bung in that apostrophe. That's the easy one. Okay, we're getting more complicated here. So the second instance is you show possession. You use an apostrophe to show something belongs to somebody else or to someone. So the shoes of the lady goes to the lady's shoes. And remember, if it was a plural, it would be Ladies, shoes. Okay, that car belongs to Lisa. It's Lisa's car. Right, so then we haven't got loads of Lisas, so we'll leave that one there. But then we've got two plural examples here. So the delays of the airlines goes to the airlines, apostrophe S delay. If it was one airline, it would be airline delay. If it was one kid's opinion, it would be the kid's opinion. Okay, so when it's singular, just one person you're talking about, the apostrophe goes before. And when something's belonging to lots of people, it goes after the S. So far, so good? All right. Well done. Hang on in there. Now, there's the acid test here is, could I use the word of? And if you could use the word of, the car of Lisa, the delays of the airlines, the opinions of the kids. If you can use the word of to make it your most fancy, antiquated English, you would stick in that apostrophe. All right. The next complication is this. And it's only a slight complication, but it does seem to make people's brains implode. Now, we have collective nouns. What's a collective noun? A collective noun is the word you use for a group of people. So women, and that's a special word, right? The position of the board. A board isn't a special word, but the things that seem to be complicated are people's, women's, men's. So you would never write the women's toilets and put the apostrophe after the S. So if you're saying the toilets of the women, the women's toilets, because it's a collective noun, right? Women, you use the word women to mean a whole group of people, and that's what a collective noun is. It goes before the S. You treat it like it's something singular. So the same with the board. The board is a group of people. You treat it like it's something singular, and the apostrophe goes before the S. Remember, if it's plural, it goes normally after the S. So we've got the kids' toys. Then it's several kids, just like we saw in the example before. It goes after the S. But when it's a collective noun, it behaves like it's singular. Wow! And it goes before. That means that we've got the women's toilets, the board's position, the men's football club. Okay, so far so good? Rain's all there? Right, so this is just to show you what happens when it's not a collective noun and how the apostrophe goes after the S, right? So we've got the boys project, the ladies yoga class, the girls mentors. So that's what happens with in a usual noun, right? Just a normal noun. But the collective noun, when you're describing a group of people, it just behaves as if it's singular. How strange is English? So the acid test for you is, am I talking about a group of people? A group there. So we've got the word people, team, staff, board, bunch, company, group, crew, gang. I was trying to pop in as many words there. And then that's when it behaves as if it's something singular. And you know that. So you'd say the team's position on this, the team's position. So, and you know, so it's behaving, even though there's a bunch of people inside a team, it's behaving like it's something singular. Okay, so here is the test for you. So I'm going to, and remember, if there's a squiggly line under it, which there is here in one of these, number 5, it's always giving you a hint that you should change something. So I suggest that you pop this on pause and fill in your answers. Okay, so here are our answers. Ooh, here are our answers. Okay, so we've got, look, that's Jack's, that should be have an apostrophe there, that's Jack's car, because you're saying that is, in your most proper English, the car of Jack. That's Jack's car. Then we've got the stripes, assuming lots of tigers, the stripes of the tigers. So it goes after the S. Got one tiger, the stripes of that one tiger, it goes before. Okay, now let's assume we've got many in number 4 researchers. The researchers' reviews. Now remember, reviews is plural. There's lots of them, but just because it's a plural, it doesn't have an apostrophe. Whereas the reviews belong to those researchers. They're the reviews of the researchers. So we have an apostrophe afterwards. If it's only one researcher, of course, it would go before. John's request isn't going to fly, right? It's the request of John is not going to fly. Mum is the word. The position of the team, assuming one team. Now, if it was many teams' positions, the apostrophe would go da-da afterwards. Okay, the team's positions, because you've got lots of teams. Okay, the labs are all furious. Well, it's just a simple plural, so it doesn't have an apostrophe. Right, remember people is a collective noun, so it behaves like something that's singular, and just one. So we've got the skill of the people, it goes before the S. Okay, and finally our employees, there's a plural, there's just many of them, and it goes after the S. Right, if you still finding your brain is imploding, what I suggest you do is send me an email. You've all got my email address. It's jess@webpsyked.com. Let me put it down here, at webpsyked.com. And please just pop me an email and I'm happy to do you a one-to-one so that you can get this thing right. Okay, good luck and hope to see you again. Take care.